Hello, and welcome to a Let's Look at the Iron Oath. I was about to say a new series. It could very well turn into a new series, but that's to be determined on how the first 1 to 2 episodes go. This is a new tactical turn-based RPG. It's an indie game. It was developed by Curious Panda Games, and it's in early access. It just came out very recently, I think within the last couple of weeks on Steam. And I was like, you know what? I want to do some indie games. I want to spotlight some indie games. So I'm going to be planning on checking out a series of new indie games over the next few weeks. And we're going to start here with the Iron Oath. I would love for this to turn into a longer series, but it is in early access. You can see we're down here at 0.5.139. So I don't know how complete it is. I don't know how long the campaign is. I played like 20 minutes earlier just to get kind of a vibe for what was going on. I didn't even finish the prologue, but we're going to start a new campaign here. Hopefully the music isn't too loud. The music was very loud when I listened to my test recording, so I turned it down from 100 to 50. I might even go ahead and bump it down to like 40. I want you to be able to hear the music, but it was like overwhelmingly loud. I couldn't hear myself talking in my test video, really. So we're going to do a new campaign. Our company will be Crouching Pumas. No. We'll be Puma Company. No relation to the IRL Puma Company. And we'll be... I still don't know what this is, because like I said, I only played like 20 minutes, but I assume at some point they'll be addressing us, so we can be like, my lord. I think that's pretty good. And then let's look at a sigil. I didn't look through these options because I wanted to save it for YouTube. So there's not that many options. Again, this isn't early access, and on top of that, it's a small developer. So we've got like a ring here, a starburst, a helmet, some sort of Celtic knot looking thing, lightning bolt, a sword, skull. I guess that's a lion, a wolf, an eagle. I don't even know what that is. Some sort of arcane symbol, and then a sword with wings. I like the wolf, and I like the Celtic knot. I think it's between those two. Let's go with the Celtic knot for now. I want this to be like... I like that blue, number 10. I'm looking for a green. 10 or 2, I think, is what we'll probably be going with, but let's pick a background color. Let's put you on 10. I think a background... Well, actually, no, when you change this, it changes the color to number 1 automatically, so let's... We could do a solid background, a vertical split, a horizontal split, a quadrant. Looks like maybe a semicircle down on the bottom, some chevrons, and another horizontal split. I might just go a straight solid background. I honestly think I'm going to. And now... maybe like a... red? Yeah, I'll probably go red. So this, I think we're going to wind up with something honestly pretty similar to what we started with, except instead of a lion or wolf or whatever we had, we're going to have this Celtic knot. And I think I will go... I don't know, 1 looks pretty good too. Now I'm torn between 10 and 1. There actually might be like some serpents now that I look at it. I can't really tell. I can't tell if these are connecting. I think, honestly, let's take another look at the wolf. I do like the wolf quite a bit. Black is too hard to see. A white wolf. You could do a white wolf on a black background, maybe. Or like a teal. I didn't see a black. I mean, I guess that's as close as we're gonna get. That's like a charcoal navy almost, but I think that's pretty good. Let's go with that. It's kind of Starky, so that wasn't my intention, but we don't have that many options here. I do not want to skip the opening prologue mission. I do not want to do Iron Man, and we're gonna do the normal difficulty, which is battle hardened. Recommended for seasoned veterans of turn-based tactical RPGs. If you are looking for a challenging gameplay experience, then start here. Like I said, I didn't get very far in this. I don't want to talk too much. Oh wait, I forgot there's no voiceover, so obviously I have to read this to you. Never mind. In an era all but forgotten, the gods once lived alongside humanity in the heart of Calum. However, an unknown cataclysmic event plunged the world into a dark age. History was lost to time, and so too were the gods. In their absence, a rebuilding humanity was left to contend with the emergence of a great being of darkness from the void. Every few decades, in an event called the Scourge, the dragon's arrival would bring death and disease to the land. Those afflicted by the dragon's blight would lose their minds and bodies as they slowly became abominations of flesh and outcasts of society known as the Blighted. Despite centuries of effort from the Vanguard Order and the realm's greatest heroes, no lasting victory against the dragon could be achieved. Humanity has now come to accept the inevitability of the Scourge as part of life, enduring, or in some cases thriving despite it. With whispers of an impending scourge circulating, you and your company find yourselves in a burial crypt not far from the city of Andalon. A simple retrieval of smuggled supplies, or at least that's what your employer had promised. So we start with a squad of 4. I mean, this is, if you've played tactical RPGs, which I assume if you're watching this, you probably have, this is going to be very familiar to you. The art style is gorgeous. I'm actually usually, I don't want to say I'm not a fan of, like, this isn't really pixel art, but like this stripped down retro art style. Not that I think it's bad, I think it's just really overused. I think people think retro equals good, and obviously to some extent if you're an indie developer, like, this kind of art style is easier to do, but I think this looks absolutely beautiful. So I'm very pleased with that right off the bat. Now we have Uric, who is our Pyro Lancer, I believe is the class. They're our firemen. Damned grave robbers, stay sharp. No doubt his companions will have heard that. Everyone stands still, tensions rising as they grip their weapons tight and scan the room for further hostiles. You hear a muffled shout from someone in an adjacent corner, likely directed toward the now deceased associate. The sound of a quickening footstep soon follows, and 3 figures burst through a doorway on the far side of the room. Shit! Should I go and alert the others? Uric shakes his head. Eyes fixed on the enemy. No time for that. We have no choice but to fight. And we will begin the combat. So this is kind of the tutorial. It's going to walk us through a lot of stuff. You can survey the battlefield using standard WASD. You can also click the middle mouse button, but I'm probably not going to do that very often. On their turn, each character can move as many hexes as their movement stat allows by moving onto a green hex that can still perform an action afterwards. This is very normal tactical RPG stuff. If you watched my Wildermyth Let's Play, it's basically the same system. To cover more ground, they can sprint onto the dashed gray hexes, but doing so will end their turn. Again, super standard XCOM type stuff. You can swap places with an ally by moving onto their location. Swapping is useful for setting up attacks, or for getting an ally out of harm's way. By holding shift, you can draw a custom movement route. And to undo a movement, this is pretty unique. I didn't even mess with this. Click the undo button on the hotbar or press E. If you take damage or trigger a stage hazard, you will not be able to undo your movement. But I think that's a really good compromise. And like a lot of times, a misclick in a game like this is the difference between like a good victory and like getting wiped out or losing a very important character. And that's different than like a tactical misplay. That's just you like literally clicking on the wrong button. So, and you still can't undo damage. So I think that's a pretty good system. So now they want us to move Norbin Dunebarrow. I don't know what his class is, but he like punches. Oh no, he's our like magic dude. He does a lot of lightning stuff. It's gonna take me a while to figure out the names for all this stuff. If you don't have a desirable action to perform, you can delay a character's turn by the end of the round, or to the end of the round, by hitting the wait button. Alternatively, you can end their turn by using the guard action, which provides a temporary bonus to defense and evasion. Click the wait button to delay the Stormcaller's turn. Okay, he's a Stormcaller. That's his class. Your character's abilities have a limited number of charges available, so it's important to plan wisely and use them effectively. Charges can be restored by camping or by using certain provisions. With the enemies advancing on us, we can set a trap by using the Pyrolancer's Return to Cinder ability on the indicated hex. So we'll set this up right here. We'll set a little trap. This guy's gonna come spring it, or one of them is. I believe it's him, yeah. Didn't do a whole lot of damage, but, you know, it's there. As you can see, it's important to pay attention to any potential hazards when positioning your units. Some abilities are able to push or pull targets. By forcing targets into obstacles and terrain, you can inflict bonus damage and other harmful effects. Move the Pugilist into position and use his Crescent Wave ability to push the enemy into the pit. So this is our Pugilist. This is the guy who, like, does a bunch of melee attacks. And we will use our Crescent Wave, which will hit a arc of 3 tiles, but there's only one guy right here. But we knocked him into this hole, but he does not die. That shocked me when I went through this earlier. I was like, I figured if you fall into a giant pit, you probably don't just teleport back up, but I guess I understand. And now they want us to move over here to show flanking. Every character on the battlefield exerts a zone of control on hexes adjacent to their position. A unit cannot leave the zone of control without suffering an attack of opportunity from their foe. The mechanic helps to lock down enemies and prevent them from reaching your more vulnerable characters, excuse me. Each character has a basic attack, which has unlimited uses. While unique abilities are guaranteed to hit their targets, basic attacks are subject to an accuracy and evasion attack. Perform a basic attack on the enemy by clicking left mouse button on the indicated hex. I guess I have to click on this first. So we did double damage, or some extra damage. I don't know if it was double or not. Most abilities and attacks are subject to a line of sight check. When targeting, a red eye indicates that there is no line of sight, while a yellow eye indicates a partial line of sight. Large obstacles such as pillars can block the line of sight entirely. When a character has no vision, they are unable to directly target an enemy. Smaller obstacles such as barrels, crates, or other characters will partially obscure line of sight under the right circumstances. A target who is partially visible will receive 50% less damage. By taking cover directly behind a small obstacle, you can look over the obstacle and gain full vision while remaining only partially visible in return. The Stormcaller's Conduit ability can devastate a single enemy from range, but takes a few turns to channel. You can see where a channel will finish by looking at the blue indicator arrow on the turn order, select the Conduit ability, and target the enemy archer. So we're going to channel on this dude. With the nearest enemy stunned, the Pyrolancer can now safely move past their zone of control without incurring an attack of opportunity. Attacks of opportunity can also be avoided by using abilities that incorporate movement, or by utilizing the swap action. Let's aid the Guardian and sprint to engage her target. So we're going to come over here. I don't see the arrow they're talking about for our Stormcaller. I believe this is the Stormcaller. Maybe it's only when I have him selected. Or her. I don't know. So we got attacked. We're getting ganged up on over here. There he goes. And now we're just going to do a basic attack on you. We exploded him. I do not remember that from last time. Your Pugilist has killed an enemy and gained morale. Morale is displayed by the white bar on each character's portrait. Alright. It represents their mood and attitude toward the current mission. Morale is gained and lost through various combat triggers. Landing a killing blow will increase morale, while suffering a critical strike from an enemy will lower it. A character with low morale will take longer to recover from a mission and will also lose loyalty towards the company. Flanking. Targets are considered flanked when you occupy 2 opposing hexes around their location. All attacks against flanked targets deal extra damage and cannot miss. Let's move the Guardian into a flanking position and attack the enemy. So this is our Stormcaller. I think we can just do a ranged attack. And so I've only done 2 combat encounters, but they always end with that, like, zoom in effect and showing the final killing blow, which I think is a very nice touch. This is different loot than I got last time. Last time all we got was weak ale, but this time we got some scrap as well. I don't know exactly what kind of game this is. I don't know if it's procedurally generated. I don't know if it's a roguelike. It's saying, like, you know, characters have morale, they're going to take time to recover from missions, so I don't know if this is going to be like Darkest Dungeon. I would love that, but then maybe the actual combat is a little more complex than Darkest Dungeon. Not that that's not an insult to Darkest Dungeon. Darkest Dungeon is one of my favorite games that I've played in recent years. We're going to go ahead and take all of this, by the way. But I'm excited to see what exactly this game has in store. There's definitely more like conversation and character development than in Darkest Dungeon. Yurik sheaths his weapon, gazing around the room and making sure all are unharmed. Everyone all right then? Norbin gestures at some blood on Yurik's arm. Never mind us, you've certainly looked better. Yurik glances down at his injury and scoffs. What this? He wipes at the blood, making a smeary mess of it. Nothing time won't heal. I'll be fine. You turn as a familiar voice rings out distantly behind you, though the words are unclear. Is that you, Vaughn? Vaughn dashes into the room and stops, kneeling over to catch his breath. He looks up with a relieved smile. Glad to see you're all still with us. We heard the fighting, figured you could handle it, and I didn't want to take the chance. And the others? Vaughn points back in the direction he came from. Torrin and the rest are still searching. Surely there are better places to stash supplies, but I suppose those smugglers had little choice. At least we're getting paid well to retrieve them. We've been in worse situations. So they keep saying, or not keep saying, but a couple times they said you. So I don't know if one of these characters is me, or if I'm, like, just the figurative spirit guiding this group. But anyway, at least we're getting paid well to retrieve them. Aye, that we have, boss. Was just hoping my last job would be free of a surprise. I can't fault you for wanting out, but I wish you'd reconsider. Vaughn smiles faintly and places a firm hand on Yurik's shoulder. This life takes a toll, my friend. I've seen more death than any man should. His face goes dark for a brief moment, remembering all the friends you've lost. Your trusted advisor, Alaric, steps out from beside you with hands raised, bringing a halt to the conversation. Alright now, there's plenty of time for talk later. It's going to take a while to scour this place, even with the others' help. Right, I'd better get back to Torrin and the rest before they find themselves lost. Watch your backs, this may be more... there may be more of those thieves here, or worse yet. Vaughn looks back over his shoulder, nodding in acknowledgement. Let's get moving. So I think I am, like, just one of these characters. I don't know which one I would be. Alright, so now that we're out of combat, we have dungeon exploration, and there's also a time mechanic. Most actions you take while exploring a dungeon will cost time. Passage of time can have harsh consequences, and is represented by the time meter in the bottom right. We should begin exploring. Use the left mouse button to move our party to an adjacent tile. Yeah, okay, so this is... I suppose this is at least somewhat procedurally generated, because last time I was going this way. So, let's go this way. Scouting can be useful in order to spot enemies, traps, and other surprises that may await you, but by scouting an enemy location, you prevent them from being able to ambush you. It does cost extra time, however, so it should be used sparingly. Click the right mouse button over a tile to scout in that direction. Alright, I guess that means that's clear, nothing showed up here. And then we have a treasure chest. Exploration events. When interacting with an exploration event, you'll often have multiple choices available to you, sometimes costing various amounts of time. Your characters will have their own opinion on the choices you make, which can affect their overall loyalty to the company. Some actions require a stat check, and the character with the highest relevant attribute will be chosen for the task. The character in question will give you feedback to help gauge their chance of success. If you have any tools with you, they can be consumed to boost the chances of a successful action, or to perform a unique action that otherwise wouldn't be available to you. You spot a discarded pack up ahead, likely dropped in haste by the grave robbers when you startled them. Or alerted them, excuse me. Yurik, don't expect to find much value, but it's not like they'll be coming back to claim it. So I can choose to take this, or say it might belong to someone else, we should leave it. And this character, I don't like that it doesn't show the name when I hover over them. Or like maybe I can't click on them either. Again, this is early access, and like very, very early access. It was just released. So I'm sure lots of quality of life things will be introduced over time. I'm gonna say it's basically the result is the same either way. Someone is gonna be a little happy, or someone's gonna be a little more upset. So I might as well take Elira, and Norbin. So Elira is up here. She was happy. Norbin was not happy. Norbin is our Stormcaller. We received a small health potion, a bandage, and some tools. That's probably pretty worth it. Now, I don't know... We've got 16 time. We're about halfway through. I don't know what this does. I don't want to waste any more time scouting. Using provisions during exploration. Provisions can be used both in and out of combat. While exploring, you can access your provision inventory in the bottom left menu, or by pressing I. Like other actions, provisions used during exploration have their own associated time cost. Our Pyrolancer, Yurik, is hurting a bit after the last encounter. We should use a potion to restore his health. Okay. So let's use a small health potion on Yurik Redwater. We've got Gunther. Yeah, see, I encountered this last time. Norbin Dunebarrow, the names kind of disappear sometimes. Gunther Dyer, Elira Whiteclaw. See, like when I go horizontally onto their portrait, the name just disappears immediately. But then when I come down vertically, it stays. So I feel like that's probably just a bug. But let's give Yurik this potion. Alright. And then their morale. Everyone's morale is over 50, so I assume that means I don't really have anything to worry about at the moment. And then we should have another combat encounter. Yeah, and then after this combat encounter was when I stopped playing. So we will soon be completely blind. During the deployment phase, you are able to reposition your party ahead of combat. Click the left mouse button on any character to move them, and then click again on a valid hex to confirm their new position. Once you're satisfied with this formation, click Start Combat. So I would like you up front. I also want you nearby. You definitely need to be like a little further back. I guess let's just make like a... I think that's fine. I didn't really pay attention to what we were going up against or where they were. Maybe I should have. But, right, we've got to get in close here. I would love it if one of them stopped right here so we could push them in. So let's guard with our pugilist. Alright, he got behind us. You can heal, but I don't think you need to heal right now. So let's just get in here and then do a basic attack. 98 damage, that's pretty good. I would love to get a channel going with our Stormcaller on one of these dudes. That's rude. You are kind of our best damage dealer, other than the Stormcaller, but you can get up and be rude. I would love... Mark a vacant cell with a fire trap. Okay, that's what we used in the first fight. Deal 2 damage, 2 targets in a row. I really wish you could go right there with, because then I could deal damage to both of these guys. Or we can damage a single adjacent target. So let's just do that. He's dead. It looks like you maybe don't have the range, but now I feel comfortable moving you up because the rest of these guys are going to be able to move. And then let's conduit on... you look... Yeah, you have a crossbow, you two have maces and shields, so I'm going to conduit on the ranged unit. Let's get up here with you, and... Oh, no, 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 no. I don't think I want to be there. But now I'm kind of like... I'm gonna risk it. I don't know what's gonna happen by me standing right here. This is my... I don't remember what you're called. Nice. That looked like it did maybe extra damage. Oh, probably because he was flanked. Some enemies have passive abilities. These undead skeletons are able to reanimate after being defeated. To prevent them from reanimating, we'll need to target and destroy the pile of bones. A little Dark Souls mechanic. Alright, there, our conduit went off. We gotta get up there and attack that skeleton. Let's get you over here and then just go to town. And then let's... Is that in range for you? It is. That's nice. I don't know what these exclamation marks are, but I think we just got hit by an attack of opportunity. That makes sense. And then let's channel for 4 turns, applying a damage shield on herself and a target. I think I'm gonna heal our pugilist because he's been taking a beating. Yeah, I'm fine with you going after him. Cleansing conditions. You can dispel negative conditions from your character with cleansing abilities or by using an antidote item. Not all harmful effects can be cleansed, such as injuries or the flanked debuff. Let's hit you with an arc lightning. Oh no, that's going to do damage to our friendly person, so let's just hit you with a basic attack, and then we should be able to clean up right here. Oh, that means the ceiling's about to collapse on them. Okay. Oh, and now she might be stunned for a turn. Dang it. Yeah, she was stunned. So now, let's kill you, and then that should be the end of combat. We got a small health potion, but I'm annoyed because I was going to heal again. That way this guy or herself would have been at full health by the end of the combat, but she didn't get to go. Okay, so now I'm kind of playing blind here. It looks like we have our first fork in the road. I don't want to... Okay, I was going to say I don't want to scout, and we're immediately surprised by something. You signal a halt as a faint and distant rumbling becomes audible, steadily growing louder and closer with each passing moment. You look up, noticing cracks forming in the ceiling as small rocks break off and fall to the floor around you. Yurik bumps against you and tugs at your arm, urging you to run. It's a cave-in. We need to move. Breaking into stride ahead of the rest of your party, you steal glance back to the corridor collapsing in a cascade of falling stone. You cross a threshold into another chamber, diving into the ground as the path behind is quickly closed off by the crumbling structure. A cloud of dirt and dust obscures your vision, but the rumbling and crashing comes to a halt as the last few pieces of debris can be heard tumbling into position. Everyone okay? You look around as the dust settles. Aside from a few coughing fits, everyone seems to be unscathed. What the hell was that? An earthquake? Might have been, or those grave robbers tried to force their way into some place they shouldn't. Yurik inspects the caved-in passage, lightly kicking at some rubble on the ground. Regardless, we'll have to find another way out. What of the others, and the supplies we're supposed to locate? Yurik places a reassuring hand on Norbin's shoulder. Vaughn and them were on the other side of the crypt. I suspect they're fine, or at least I hope. Our priority is to find them. Hopefully they've already retrieved the supplies. We could do with a little luck. Alright, so I'm a little... So, like, we are obviously a character here with them, but we're none of these characters, as far as I can tell. So... That's kind of weird. Toggle the map legend. Let's see what that... Okay, so we've got combat, loot, hazard, NPC, secret, boss fight, objective, locked path, blocked path. So this is a blocked path. So we have to go this way. We're almost out of time. I don't know what happens when we run out of time. Costs 1... Let's just... I was gonna camp, but I'll just do this. I'll give a healing potion to each of you. That uses all of our time. Enemy preparations. Your foes are now well aware of your presence and have prepared accordingly. Increased chance of ambush in the remaining encounters by 10%. Okay. Time modifiers. As you explore, the application of various time modifiers will present new challenges for you to overcome. With each time modifier applied, your party will slowly become unnerved and suffer a small loss to morale. Due to these factors, it's important to be efficient and spend your time wisely. You can switch which modifiers are currently active next to the time meter in the bottom right. But you can switch which ones are active? Interesting, okay. I do quickly want to look at the text scroll speed. I think that's like really the perfect speed, except for sometimes I trip up on my words and then I'm behind. I haven't had an issue, like nothing has scrolled out of sight yet, but the problem is it goes straight down to 80%, and I think that's a little bit of... I wish it would go like 10% of the time. So we'll leave it there until or if we run into some issues. Alright. Let's go ahead and scout. Alright, that's unfortunate, but now we can't go this way, so but I'm confused. Can we... There's no arrow, so can we even go this way? No. This way is completely blocked off. We'll need to look for another way around. So does that mean we have to go back? I'm confused. Your path is blocked by a pile of rubble from the recent cave-in. Yurik steps forward and climbs to talk to gauge the severity of the blockage. It's not so bad. I can see a clear path ahead. Just need to move enough of this rubble so we can squeeze through. He turns, looking down to address you. Any ideas? We can move it by hand and take 4 time. Blast a hole with magic. That could prove risky. Or hand Yurik a shovel. A shovel seems like a nice compromise. With an affirming nod, Yurik grasps the shovel and begins to dig, soon clearing the path just wide enough for everyone to fit through. Your party crawls through the gap in the rubble and comes... Oh my lord. And comes out the other side, sliding down the pile and back onto solid ground. You see the flickering light of a torch being cast into the room from a connecting hall, illuminating more of your surroundings as it nears. Your party forms up, preparing for combat as the flame's bearer rounds the corner. Easy now, it's just me. I thought the whole damn place was going to come down on top of us. The structure groans and rumbles for a moment as he glances around with some concern. It might yet. Yurik motions back towards the collapse. This whole section is caved in. We'll need to find a way out of here once we're done. I figured as much. Torn and the others are already set to finding one. I take it you haven't found the supplies yet either. Yurik slowly shakes his head. Unfortunately not. Let's hope they're not buried in stone. Regroup with Torrin and secure an exit, Vaughn. We'll find you when the job's done. Sure thing, boss. He quickly scans your surroundings and leans in close, his expression turning deadly serious. There's something else. All that commotion has disturbed the dead within these walls. We've already put down a few of the bastards, but you'd best stay alert for more. Thanks for the warning. We'll tread carefully. Alright, back on the move. Got a quick combat before whatever that place was. Let's deploy here. So it looks like we've got a mace, a risen ghoul, don't know what you're gonna do, and 2 arbalists. I definitely want... Let's just go with our standard wing formation for now. And, how far up? So that's as far up as I can go. Okay. Let's start combat. I don't know how initiative is determined, but it seems like our pugilist goes first most of the time. This is nice because we can hit both of them with a crescent wave. No, we can't. Dang it. Alright, Fists of Fury. I don't know if that was worth it, but we did a lot of damage. I'm afraid this guy's gonna blow up or something. I played too much Fallout. Okay, let's flank the... No, I keep doing this where I'm standing on the wrong spot, or I'm standing on these holes in the ground. He's flanked. We gotta help him out. Oh no. Okay, we're gonna heal as soon as possible. Thank you for not... And your vision was obstructed. We only took 50% damage, so that you definitely should have shot him. Let's get in here and do some real damage. That'll kill you. What will this do? That might kill you. Okay, I didn't know how to interpret that if the extra damage was already built in. I guess the extra damage was already built in. They're too far away. So actually, let's move over here. Still too far away. Really? Okay, let's just do... Let's just kill you. Oh, come on! So I think we could Crescent Wave... Yeah, let's do that. Nice double kill, bro. Let's step you off that spot and then heal Gunther a little bit. I forgot we have to go hit these skeletons. Do this. Does quite a bit of damage. It's out of range again, so let's move up a little bit. And that should hit both of you. Nice. Let's finish you off. And then let's... Okay, you're missing 130 health, but you have more health to begin with. You're missing 70 health, 75 health. So I actually think you yourself are missing the most health. I wonder if you can heal yourself. You can. So let's just do this. Alright, let's... I don't think there's a good way for me to line this up, so let's just do this. I did that very wrong. Dang it. Alright, I guess you're just doing this. We should still be able to kill him pretty easily. With an arc lightning or just a basic attack. Yikes. I mean, let's just... Okay, we didn't trigger it. I don't know how that works yet. Oh, come on, man. And you can't heal. And you also can't get You could swap. I don't know if that takes up both. It does not. Okay. Just finish it. Thank you. So what's our order here? We've got you, then you, then you. So you are... Are you, like, completely out of your heal ability? Like, does that mean we can only use it 2 turns per combat, or 2 times per combat? I think maybe that is the case, so let's just go ahead and finish this off. Got another health potion, and we're close to leveling up. Let's see, how long are we at? We're at, oh my goodness, we're at 36 minutes. I did not think we were anywhere close to that long. So we're going to end this episode here, but we are definitely doing some more of the Iron Oath. I'm really loving everything about this so far. Obviously, we're not very far in. I'll try to move a little bit faster in the next episode. But for now, if you are interested in seeing more content like this, please leave a like and subscribe. Let me know that this is things that you're interested in, and we'll see what we can do. I'm very excited. I hope you are too. I will see you guys again next time.